Hey guys, back with another Maplestory video here. This time I had to bring back my second will clear because this one was actually more sweaty and more insane than the first clear. And I don't know how I got this done. I got 0 lives here. I mean, the finish was insane. I had so many things. Like, that was just the craziest finish. Even more crazy than the first one. So I just had to post this one again. The roller coaster of solo will is just a grind. If you had the ability and privilege and just the craziness of wanting to solo will, um, mad respect to you, man, because it is not for just anybody. I know people that have like 120 mil cap that don't even want to solo will. They would rather just skip the week. They've tried it, they failed. It is surely a grind for the crackheads, to put it lightly. So if you've been doing solo will runs and clears, I would love to see it, especially when you're kind of sweaty DPS wise, like I am, where every run is sort of a uh, has to be almost perfect. Please send them my way, tag me in the Discord, and I would love to watch them and showcase them and just appreciate the level of commitment it takes, because it is not easy. It is a 15-minute grind of a boss that is, I mean, I see people, PC players, playing like 30-minute bosses, and that is a whole nother beast. But for this game specifically, 15 minutes is, there's nothing like it in the game. I don't think any other boss is going to be like that, right? I'm not sure right now, anyways. But like, just watching this back, this was my second run of the day. I tried to get it done post reset because I'm going to get the Willstone for this week. So I wanted to get it done early versus doing it. My usually scheduled run is at Wednesday, so 6 days from now. So I got lucky right there. Got hit by the orb. But so I was able to get it done. Allows my Lin to get in a team and just build the army. But this is the grind that it takes on the Demon Slayer, and we'll kind of fast forward through this because, to be honest, it's rinse and repeat. There's nothing spectacular about phase one. It's just, I think the hard part is staying mentally locked in, because there's still like cheese ways to die if I'm not paying attention to my iframes, or I'm not paying attention to the skills, or like all these orbs or all these attacks at once sort of combo me. I lose a life, and every life is precious. I only get 3, and it is just in such a long fight. It just adds up. Losing a death in phase one or even phase two is such a gives me such little wiggle room to clear because of how painful P3 is. But I actually played P3 really pretty well here, so we'll just come through phase one here. I don't want to watch. There's nothing crazy here. I got through the test, passed the test, easy peasy, off to phase two. Now phase two is a monster of a grind, because so the way the Demon Slayer works here is that this burst skill is an iframe, but the issue is I can't just spam it randomly. There sort of has to be a method to the madness, because if I come out of that iframe at the wrong time, I'm going to get hit and comboed and actually die. And so it's kind of a interesting method that I had to figure out as far as timing that skill wisely. And you see right there, I knew Spider was coming, so I was just trying to kite him, jump up and over. And here, I'm sort of saving my iframes for an oh crap moment, because they are coming quickly. I think I die here. So I use my heal for iframe there, and I use my other iframe because I didn't have any gauge. And so right there, yeah, I died because I didn't have any gauge, and I was trying to cheese and hold off on my dark meta. I didn't want to use all 3 iframes right there. And like, I think I'm gonna have to use it right here just to be safe. I'm in such a bad spot. I have no gauge. All these things are just doing wailing damage on me, and I'm about to get the test. So I think future runs, I have to be a little bit more aggressive with my iframes in that first half of this phase two, because I actually don't have a lot of gauge to work with. But once I get into phase 2 here, or once I get into this test, I can fill my gauge up to full, and it just gives me a lot more wiggle room to kind of hold off on my iframes, because in P3, I actually need my iframes immediately from the start, or it feels like it, because of the way that it plays out. And it just gives me, like, I need all the iframes I can get in phase 3. So I cost myself a life here. Probably next run, I'll be a little bit more safer and just use my iframes, not playing a little bit too defensive. And actually here as well, I normally, my first run, I tried to save like my big burst here for phase 3. And I'm trying to save my E skill here, my burst skill here, just for phase 3, so I can have all that damage for that. But I think in this run, I was so afraid of dying and losing a life, I sort of just used it right here to avoid that spider. And like I was talking about, there had to be a sort of timing to it, because right there, look, knock back, and I had to use my iframe, my impenetrable skin, had to press it. Like, it's just such a horrible situation to be in as far as like playing it safe and using that iframe. The timing is awkward, right? And that almost cost me a life. So I had to be prepared for that. And that is just me kind of just failing so many times. And right there, again, just had to pop dark meta, just my iframe. So in a bad spot here, to be honest. Down 1 life. All my iframes are on cooldown. And I'll have it back for phase 3. Or I'll have most of them, half of them back for phase 3. So I was feeling okay. But going into this fight, into phase 3, I was definitely very nervous. And this was not something that I was planning on in the perfect world. But that's kind of the fun of solo mode, where it gives me confidence that I can clear even when things don't go perfect. Like, I go into phase 3 with 1 life less. I go into phase 3 without my dark meta, without my burst skill right away either, and just not the ideal perfect situation. So I had to play a little bit more defensive, and I had to time my skills better. So I think I got a good grasp of how to dodge the white eye skill, which is a big 70, it's like 90% HP skill that was killing me in previous runs. I got a good grasp of the timing for that, so it actually helped me quite a bit at the start of phase 3. So phase 2, 2 lives left. Cooldowns are looking decent, but not ideal. And so one of the things I tried to do right away was try to get my burst out, but be safe with my iframes. Don't just throw them out. I use my heal just there, just in case, just to be safe. And I like to use it when I like to use that right away first, because I know it's going to come back on cooldown the fastest. And I use my burst skill here to chunk it down. And again, I like to use that early and often so that I have it back for the end of the fight, which, as you'll see, is sort of the only way that I'm able to clear this. So get my stun out as well so that I can have it back later on in the fight. And I'm holding on to my impenetrable skin and dark meta as sort of a last second oh crap moment. So right there, I was able to dodge. And the strategy for me was, after every white eyes, I only tried to cleanse after white eye, because that skill is just a skill I do not want to run into when, oh gosh, at the iframe there, impenetrable skin. So I always tried to save those iframes for the oh crap moments like that, which was played out perfectly right there. So it's definitely not a perfect run by any means, but I always try to have an answer and a oh crap option. And Demon Slayers do have quite a lot of them, but again, I have to be strategic with them. Used it right there. My middle mini iframe. And so I still have dark meta left. I'm trying to cleanse these gauges these webs as they come, because I've noticed that if I wait for like two uses of them, then sometimes the gauge drops below, right? You'll see that it kind of goes up and down throughout the fight, or it pauses. So I try to make sure that I always am using it before I kind of lose them, in a sense. And so right there, since white eyes just came, I tried to get crushed. So got crushed there. Absolutely not ideal. And somehow I made it So like right here, I was panicking. Oh gosh, dark meta immediately. I'm terrible with like the confused state situation where I don't have like I'm walking left versus right, like right here. Oh gosh. Just pop my like this is just panic, pure panic mode. And at this point, I'm just like, oh god, I'm screwed. I have 1 life left. Like, what am I doing here? Did I even press the gauge there? Like, what just happened? And so I'm just trying to cleanse webs, trying to keep it clean. And it looks like the strategy for me is just stay on the one side. Just cleanse the webs on one side. So I stunned there just to reset almost. And then I want to get this big one because those big ones I feel like create a lot more webs quicker. And I'm in a bad spot here. So right here, I'm in a really tough spot. The gauge is low. And so I tried to fill the gauge immediately here. And then why am I not? Like, what am I doing there? I totally just griefed that. So I used my gauge there, but didn't get that many webs. So I'm gonna, like, this is horrible. Horrible situation. All my cooldowns, I'm really playing defensive here. And the webs are just gonna overwhelm me very soon. And I have no gauge. So I think I get gauge a little bit. I'm just trying to stay in this small window. Got a little gauge there, and then webs immediately right back on me. So right here, I think I heal. I think I just forced a death there. And so, because I knew I needed impenetrable skin, so I just waited. And this is where it gets absolutely crazy. I'm looking at my cooldowns. I'm looking at the res timer. I have impenetrable skin available. I have dark meta a few seconds after. I'm going to have my G skill, my Ravenstorm, and my snake up. So what I'm going to do is impenetrable skin, or I'm going to all cure this web, impenetrable skin. I'm going to have to wait it out, use the Ravenstorm, use the snake, and then pray for dark meta to come up just at the perfect time. So I use snake here, and then dark meta literally right off a cooldown. I'm here, I'm just hoping I can get enough gauge to fill it up. And watch this. 1 second left on iframe. Gauge just comes up, I get cleansed, I get knocked back into webs, and then my burst skill comes up just in time. Holy smokes, how is that even possible? What just happened? Let's watch that again, because I don't even know, like everything kind of lined up perfectly here. So I have all my like impenetrable, I had to play it, be quick with it too. All cure immediately, impenetrable skin, wait till the very last second. Impenetrable, pop my snake, pop my Ravenstorm, pop my snake, pop dark meta. Had to wait because dark meta was a little bit delayed. I even took damage in between that. And lucky I didn't get stunned. And then watch this gauge. Gauge right at the last second, take damage, cleanse these webs. Somehow I survive. And the burst came up right at the end. What the madness? Yeah. Got the primal though. Let's go. That is just every week. Solo Will is going to be like that. Kind of excited to do with it. Hopefully I can improve on it. I feel like there's things I could have done definitely better to put myself in a better position there, but that is as crazy as it gets, guys. Holy smokes. This one stressed me out. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.